We'll see if this works.
Soft open. Soft open.
Oh, there's a soft open. There we go. Technical difficulties. Bree was just talking about her power rank, but we I think she was talking to herself for a little bit there.
We had a stalled drive.
We did have a stalled drive, to say
Couple
the
of penalties.
least.
But we're back, right? Are we out there?
We are out there. Yeah, get it back out there, Chris. We will, sorry about that, everybody.
Take 2.
Technical difficulties. Oh, I hear it.
Now what's up? Oh.
That was me. Sorry, guys, that was me.
Take 2.
So technical.
2.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Bree.
There it is. I see it now.
There we go.
We're live again.
Live again. All right, there we are. We're back once again. All right. Do-do-do-do.
All right.
All right, let's kick this back off. What do you say, Bree? I'll hit a let's hit a transition. Get it back up here.
Let's go.
All right, Bree, we were talking about Power Rank Monday, things you wanted to see fixed for the Cleveland Browns heading into Week 3. And I didn't hear anything you said.
Well, Dave, I don't know if you'll be surprised by this, but I was talking about penalties and the 18 that we had not being acceptable. But I was really focused on the offensive penalties because it felt like we were playing at 1st and 20, 1st and 25, and 2nd and 3rd long, and had a really hard time completing completing into a first down all game, and these penalties did not help our cause at all. So clean that up next week, boys.
That's fair. That's fair. I think that was one of the big ones people were talking about, especially the diehard Browns fans who don't want to, you want to stay positive. That was a huge one. Penalties, not so great.
Clean it up.
Number 2. Bree.
Number 2. All right. So number 2, the play calling. So last week I talked about Freddie Kitchens kind of being the unknown heading into this game. I think outside of our first drive, we did not really perform from an offensive perspective. And it reminded me, guys, last year, Todd Haley's offense, when Baker was playing, how he just looked like indecisive. He held onto the ball too long. There were questionable play calls yesterday, especially when Baker got sacked. Again, Chubb was non-existent, and I really wanted to see from a wide receiver play, just throwing some screen passes, letting our guys use their athletic ability and make plays, get them into space, and have them essentially beat their guys. We didn't do that yesterday, so I want to see the Freddie Kitchens offense that we had last year back in full force.
I feel like we did that, we're on that first drive. I remember the first time OBJ caught that ball, I was like, whoa, this guy's really, really fast.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And then it was like we were trying to force a long ball. Having OBJ changed what we were writing up, and it didn't work.
Not so much.
And finally, number 3,
Ding.
I want to see
number 1.
Guy, I'm sorry, number 1. Wow.
Ding.
Ding.
I want to see these guys come back on Monday, play with composure and purpose. If you mess up, move on, go to the next play. Please don't kick anyone in the face. Stop getting these 15-yard penalties. Act like we've been here before. And we have to practice what we preach. Freddie Kitchens keeps saying that we were a disciplined team. We play together. We hold ourselves accountable. I didn't see a lot of that going on yesterday. So come on, Freddie, get these guys in line.
You're asking them to do a lot. Don't kick other players in the face. That's wow. I don't know, Bree. The temptation's always there.
Shouldn't be that hard.
Right.
So we had a ton of people, in lieu of me doing one, we had 230 some people reply with their Power Rank Monday for the show. A lot of them agreeing with a lot of what you guys said, especially Bree. Penalties, tackling, angles in pursuit. That's from John Sparks.
The third down music. Anybody mention that? Because I'm sick of it.
I actually have.
No.
Oh, Chris, you disappeared again.
Excellent.
Perfect. Well, Bree, you're still here. Let's see here. Offensive line, the biggest one that I'm seeing here in Power Rank Monday is discipline. Bree, do you feel like is that on Kitchens? Is this offseason that we had, this preseason that we had, especially the fights during the preseason, the joint practices, do you have any issue with that?
Yeah, it just feels like we were playing out of control, and I wasn't on the field, but I feel like Tennessee was coming into the game truly being underdogs, and we typically have always been the underdogs. So
right.
I think Tennessee essentially wanted to put us in our place, and they kicked our butts. And part of me feels like there's no reason we should have won this game. We didn't deserve to win this game. And quite frankly, we could have still won the game outside of the fourth quarter. We were in this game the entire time. So the sloppy play, the penalties, not really keeping our composure really didn't impact us until we got to that fourth quarter. It never really felt like we were in it, but yeah. I expected a lot more out of this team, and I hope that they can forget about it and move on. We
were who they thought we were.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Ouch.
And the live viewers here are getting some inside the studio action of how this works.
Yeah, I see it. It's kind of going nuts there. This is awesome.
This is, yes, the Big Play Reflux Show, week 1.
We need to put that Indians graphic up there when they have technical difficulties, and we'll just display that for the whole show.
Yes, maybe we'll have to do a custom one. Well, we shall see. All right, it looks like you guys are back for at least here a few minutes.
Sweet.
Yeah, a lot of comments on this. Offensive scheme, discipline play, Ross the Rugger, discipline, protection plan, discipline again. Waylon says the kicker. That was rough. I feel like we were off to a good start. We were off to a good start, and then that happened.
You missed the extra point. It's like, it's a callback to last year that no one wanted to see, and that's why we go through the preseason. That's why we had a competition for kicker. That's why we went to the rookie kicker who beat out Greg Joseph. I mean, that was really deflating. Really deflating.
Yeah, we've got Dave Cleary said balanced play calling on offense, better pass protection, and improved linebacker play. Do you guys have any issues with the play calling?
Yeah, I did too. It's more an execution for me, though.
Right.
Really, it's more an execution. I think when you're penalized that many times, when you make that many mistakes, when the offensive line can't do their job, then it's really hard to get on play calling because it's never able to develop the way it's supposed to. So it's really tough for me to analyze it when we have that many mental lapses.
Yeah. Rough week. Let's talk some more about that. Let's get into our Cleveland headlines.
All right.
Let's talk more week 1 Browns. And this episode is brought to you by Cleveland Clothing Company.
Dave, we both played beer pong back in college, way back in the day. You played, right?
It was a while ago.
A little while ago. A few people were out there in the media lot, I think, playing as well. And although both of us are old and we've now graduated, it's still fun to bust out a little beer pong during a good tailgate. It's time to ditch the red Solo cups and pick up a Cleveland Clothing Company beer pong set. Yes. Tailgate in style. Head over to Cleveland Clothing Company now. Pick up some new gear for Brown season and snag a Victory Monday. Yes, Victory Monday next week. Tuesday. Coffee mug while you're there. Promo code Big Play for 20% off. You're going to need that coffee mug about 15 times this year yet.
15 in 1. 15 in 1.
That's right.
All right, let's talk some more Browns. So obviously we lost to the Titans. Was that just yesterday?
Just yesterday by 30 points, Dave.
Oh, 30 it feels
points.
like it was 3 months ago.
By 30 points, though.
Who's that?
You know who else lost by 30 points? The Pittsburgh Steelers. So
yes.
I think it was too much crap on this one. Of course, they lost to the Patriots. We lost to the Titans. But nonetheless, we both lost by 30.
That is true. Yeah, 43-13. We've touched on a lot of the negatives from the game. Let's try to be a little bit more positive here. Much like we did with the Indians when they had their rough start to the year, let's bring in a segment. It's time to say something nice about the Browns. Bree, you were there. Say something nice about the Browns.
Well, guys, I think the positive thing is that we still have a very talented roster. We know that the game didn't pan out how we all had hoped it would. I think it was very disappointing when you look at how excited we were for our new offensive weapons, but I still believe in this team. I believe in Baker Mayfield. And speaking of Baker Mayfield, he played well up until the fourth quarter.
Right.
I know. and you know, I think, I think though it was positive heading into that fourth quarter. And at that point, we're playing with our third string offensive line. It really felt like the lead.
You're a Baker apologist now, Bree. Man.
I will all day long, Chris. He is our guy. He is our guy. And I think he is the leader of the locker room. He will get everyone following him. And I actually am happy that we are probably back to being the underdogs because I think we play better that way. So bring on Monday and the Jets.
Monday and the Jets.
Chris, do you have anything nice to say?
I do. If I was giving out a game ball, it would have to go to Jamie Gillan, huh? The Scottish Hammer, right? He's out there punting 5 times.
We weren't supposed to be punting, Chris.
I know. Well, that was your boy Baker out there, Miss Apologist. But my guy, the Scottish Hammer, punted 5 times, 3 of those inside the 20. He had an average of 46.6 yards per punt. That's what the people come to see, right? That's trestle ball right there. So the Scottish Hammer, you get my game ball. That's a positive. The rookie coming through.
I like it.
You guys aren't inspired by that? No.
The punter? I was hoping that Jamie Gillan was never going to play after he made the team.
Yeah.
That was my goal. It didn't work out so well.
Other than maybe on special teams non-punt, maybe put him on the kickoffs. Did you see that before the game? They were asking, I think Freddie Kitchens about it. Or maybe it was the special teams coach. I don't remember which, but they were saying, hey, what do you think about Jamie Gillan going down and covering all these punts? And they're like, no, we don't want him doing that anymore. We've told him not to show that same kind of fire that he had in the preseason during the regular season because you don't want to lose a punter.
Right.
If you lose a punter, you're really in trouble. So they're being more pragmatic with him now that we've actually hit real games.
Yeah, Jamie Gillan. And did you like how the first punt that he had, we were on the 1?
Yeah, I was. Man, talk about anxiety.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I thought, the kick wasn't all that great, but at least he got it off.
Yes.
So,
hey, you brought this up earlier, Bree, but Nick Chubb, right? Nick Chubb ended up having 75 yards. You said it was quiet, and we really didn't utilize him much, but he still had 75 yards. He was averaging like 4.4 yards per carry. It's like, even with all this crap that we had happen, Nick Chubb was, a couple of carries shy of 100 yards. And if we can get him more regularly into the rotation, I think the Nick Chubb of old is right there.
He looked really good, didn't he?
Yeah.
As expected. He was just underutilized. I'm just not sure why they didn't rate him up in the game plan a little bit more, which is what worked last year.
Yeah. And I mean, overall, the team average, I think, over 5 yards a carry. So, we could do it. We just need to execute much, much better than what we were. Stop making these mental mistakes.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so rough week. We're moving on. We're looking ahead to next week because this is the first time in it's been some time. The Browns will be on national television Monday night in New York against the Jets. So we've already touched on, some obvious things this team needs to clear up. What do you have as the keys to winning this on Monday night?
Well, here, I talked about this before we even kicked off yesterday. The offensive line, right? I said last week, we've got 2 guys who are pretty good on the line, and we've got 3 question marks on that line. And boy, did we ever. It's exactly what happened out there. We had one of them kicking a guy in the head. They're just all over the place. It was not a pretty day for the offensive line at all. Mayfield got sacked 5 times. I'm hoping that they put in some extra work this week, maybe as a unit, or able to come up with some sort of a game plan to slow down the rush, to work better as a unit, because you knew it was going to be a problem area for us. It was. And then on top of that, we were making mental mistakes, and that's just killer. We've got to clean that up along the line. It pains me to see it, Dave. Dave, you and I are old enough, Bree too, to remember those teams with Bernie Kosar back in the mid-'80s. I keep saying it. They had so much talent. Defensively, they were great, had good wide receivers. We had great running back. We had Ozzie Newsome at tight end, and Bernie got beat up because the offensive line wasn't good enough. And right now, we're staring down an offensive line that hasn't come together for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker got beat up yesterday, and we can't have that happen, or we're going to be in a situation like the Colts where Andrew Luck is no longer playing. So we can't do that to our franchise quarterback. And, you know, I'm not a Baker apologist, because I will say I do believe he held on to the ball too long a couple of times and was trying to look for his option downfield that just didn't pan out. And he was some of the reasons that he got himself sacked. So I think we just need better execution of the play calling. And I just hope that we really play to our assets and the things that worked last year and incorporate them into Monday, because we're going to be going against Greg Williams and someone who is familiar with our game plan and our defense, might I add.
Yeah. And one more thing on the offensive line. Chris Hubbard sucks. Just wanted to get that in there.
Point that out.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Hey, we need to cut Chris Hubbard."
Oh, God,
we don't have anyone else.
Yeah, that's the problem. And we're going to get to this at the end of this. If we ever get to the end of this podcast with all the technical difficulties, I've got a hot take on that one, Dave. So you're just going to have to wait for it.
Ooh, it sounds like a bold prediction.
Bold prediction.
Guys.
That's right.
Yes.
Question for you, though. How are we at this point right now, at the beginning of the season, where we still don't have an offensive line? Like, how do we get here?
Are we only one game in? Because it feels like we're about 5 games in.
I feel like we're like 0-15 right now.
Yeah,
I know.
I've already been through the ringer as a fan, and it was only one football game. That was horrid. But yeah, we knew it. We said this last week, that they were completely. John Dorsey was trying to do his best to just throw together a line. He was making last-minute substitutions. You go out, you get Cush. I mean, you're trying to do whatever you can to put this thing together. You're just like cramming for a test, and it's like, no, normally that does not work. It does not work, and yesterday it did not.
Yeah, that is very true. Obviously, every game is big. There's probably no bigger must-win game than Week 2.
No, do not call this a must-win.
Is it a must-win?
Must-win
Week 2, heading into Week 3 against the Rams?
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier after that after you go to the Ravens, too.
It's the Jets, Chris. It's not a must-win.
Jets, Jets. It's not a must-win. Come on.
Okay.
We can always put together some games, but, there's plenty of season left. But I think for the psyche of the team, and for God's sakes, for the psyche of the fans, we need to win this ball game. After laying that egg at home when everybody was ready to explode at the stadium on Sunday and really have a coming out party for what we think is a very special Cleveland Browns team, to lay that egg and then go to New York and lose on national TV to the Jets, that would be too deflating, not only for the team, but also for the fans. I don't think it's fair to us. So football gods up there, give us this one. We need to win on Monday. I won't call it a must win, but man, we need to win this one.
Chris, here's the schedule after that game. Versus the Rams, they're 1-0. At the Ravens, who Lamar Jackson looks like a legitimate quarterback, throwing 5 touchdowns, 1-0.
Which also makes me sick. He's not hurt yet.
Go ahead.
Against the Dolphins. Why can't we open up against a team that's physically tanking?
The Titans aren't the Patriots either.
They went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, playoffs.
We were definitely supposed to beat the Titans. After the Ravens, at 49ers, they're 1-0. Versus the Seahawks, Russell Wilson, they're 1-0. And then at Patriots, they look decent.
It'll be nice because they'll have Antonio Brown into the fold and working into the offense. Oh. So him and Josh Gordon. So that'll be fun. I can't wait for that afternoon.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm feeling good. I think it's a must-win, though.
I'm not going to call it a must-win.
Breeze a must-win.
It's a nice.
It's a must-win, and let's not forget the Jets are coming in 0-1 with pretty hefty expectations for this year too.
Yeah, that's true.
They're crap as well. Forget the Jets.
Okay.
They are. Come on, we could beat the Jets. They gave up a 16-point lead. They just blew it. So come on, they're deflated. You got to step on their neck early. Let's go after them. Remind them of Thursday night last year, opening the victory fridges. We're going to do the same thing on Monday.
I hope so.
Let's do it. And Bree, you froze again, so this show is going swimmingly. Let's move on. Let's move on to some over unders here. Presented by House of Hoodies.
Folks, check out House of Hoodies for amazing Browns jersey hoodies. These awesome hoodies, and they are. I've got one myself. Come in orange, brown, and feature the helmet logo or the Brownie Elf. And that's a new one. As the temperatures at First Energy Stadium drop, and they will, when we know how they will. There we go. Their hoodies are warm, comfortable, and a much better alternative than that old Brady Quinn jersey you've been holding on to. Check them out on Twitter at HO Hoodies or their website, hehouseofhoodies.com. When you're there, use promo code BIGPLAY to save 20% off your entire order. That's House of Hoodies. Check them out.
That's right. All right.
Mine. It's toasty.
That is true. Yeah, Bree, you're looking good in that one.
The House of Hoodies. Guys? That would make a lot more sense than House of Hoodies.
You said you did say House of Hoodies.
There we are. Sorry about that.
They are very cool. We got them in the back here in the studio. The new Brownie the Elf one. Let's see. And Bree, you got that Baker Mayfield one with the orange helmet. Looking good. Looking real good. Yeah, go check them out. thehouseofhoodies.com. I'm going to give you guys a couple quick over-unders here for the game heading into Week 2 versus the Jets. Chris, Bree, I'm going to actually start with you, okay?
All
right. Over-under for Odell in his New York return, even though it's not the Giants. 100 yards receiving. Over-under.
Over.
Ooh.
That's easy. Come on.
That's easy? He had 71 yards last week for comparison.
He'll double that up this week. 142.
142. Ooh, that's a bold prediction. All right, Chris. Penalties. We had 18 last week. Over under set at 12. 12.
Over under 18 this week. Over under 12. Oh God. I'm going to say push. We're going to be right at 12 penalties. How about that?
That'll be a significant improvement.
Yeah, it's 33% less. I mean, come on. That's a much, much better number, but still not great.
All right, Bree. Carries for Nick Chubb. He had 17 last week. Over under this week, 19.
Also going over here.
I like it.
Gotta get him in the offense.
So we're going to be throwing it a lot to Odell, and we're going to be running Nick Chubb a lot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Odell gets some screen passes and can just get some yardage after that.
I feel like we'll have the ball a little bit more this game.
Yeah, we had a lot yesterday. Couldn't seem to do much with it.
That's true. Oh, gosh, that is true. All right, Chris, missed field goals, extra points. We missed we missed
one.
Why
you got to go negative?
Just one. Over under 1.
Under.
Good work. Thank you.
Woo!
All right, Bree, I'm bringing it back to you here. Wins on Monday Night Football. We had 0 last week, obviously. The over-under, 0.5. Do we win this game, Bree?
Yes.
Good stuff. Love it.
Take there.
All right.
A win against the Jets.
Do it.
I'm
ready.
Do it. All right, let's do a few quick would you rathers here. What do you say?
Let's do them. Come on.
Let's do them. Let's get some music going.
Boom.
All right, Bree. I'm kicking this one off to you. after yesterday's NFL games, would you rather be forced to spend today hanging out with Ravens fans or have to listen to Colin Cowherd on repeat all day?
I'm going to go with listening to Colin Cowherd all day. I just want to just soak in the hate and just let it fuel me for next week.
Oh, sounds like you have a chip on your shoulder.
I do.
Yes. All right. I like it. All right, Chris, would you rather... Ooh, this is a hard-hitting question. Are you ready? All right.
I am.
We ask the hard questions here. Would you rather give up breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Who wrote the? Do we have the intern back? Is Alec back in there? I always give up. I always skip breakfast. I always skip breakfast anyway. I know I'm gonna get the speech about how it's the most important meal of the day and all that crap, but I always miss breakfast. So I guess I'll give up breakfast. No problem.
Oh,
Done.
worst answer.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's gonna say, "What are you thinking?" That's getting your day started off right. Whatever.
My breakfast is usually like 4 black coffees. That's usually all I get.
Breakfast is caffeine.
That's right. All right. It's been a long night. I say we get into some bold predictions and we get out of here. What do you say?
Let's do that. Dave, do we have a sponsor for the bold predictions?
We do not.
Oh.
No sponsor for the bold predictions.
Well, we should.
So if you
if
you would like to sponsor this incredible show,
this is open. That's right.
All right. So Chris, you said if we made it to bold predictions, which we did, you had a very bold prediction for the Browns.
I did. And my bold prediction is the Browns are going to make a low key trade this week. Some sort of a draft pick to bring in an offensive lineman of some sort. It's going to be kind of under the radar. It's going to be, we brought this guy in, kind of like the wide receiver we brought in from the Titans. But we're going to make a move, try and beef up the offensive line, give us maybe depth, not necessarily a starter, but something's going to happen there. And by the way, I'm an NFL insider now, so
that's true.
Just go ahead and get down in ink. It's happening.
Wow. Interesting. All right.
Watch for it.
Good
if
for
it
you.
happens this week, you'll be like, wow, I heard it here first on the Reflog Show.
I like it. Bree, bold prediction time. What do you got?
After an atrocious first game and 18 penalties, the Browns play clean and hold the Jets to 10 points.
Wow. And the final score is?
Wow.
21-10.
21-10. Very nice. We make all 3 extra points.
Actually, that's right. There could be a 2-point conversion after the first missed.
Oh, come on.
Nick Chubb scores once. Odell scores twice. If I'm doing all the math and trying to keep this consistent, right?
Keep up.
Yeah.
Keep up, Chris.
That's right. All right. My bold prediction, I think Baker's going to have a bounce-back game in primetime on Monday Night Football. I think he throws for 400 yards.
Woo! Love it.
400 yards, Chris.
Coming out party. Another coming out party. He's already had a couple, but that'd be a nice one on Monday night to be talking about that. I'll tell you what, and I was telling somebody this game goes one of two ways. Either we go in the crapper and people start talking about, do we need to replace Freddie Kitchens?
Yeah.
Or it goes the other way and we completely forget about week one. It's like it never even happened because we go on national TV and just throw up a great game out of nowhere. Few penalties. Baker looks great. The defense looks dominant. Everybody's going to say, that was a fluke week one. Everybody there, they were just way too overhyped. They had all kinds of butterflies. That's all past us. The Browns are back. We don't expect them to lose again. So it's going to go one of those two ways this week. It'll be interesting.
That is true.
There's no middle ground with our fan base. There just is none.
No.
And with the way, and to be fair, that's the way the media treats us too. I mean, we are in that position where it is either feast or famine. And you know what? I love it. You know, there's no middle. There's no being in the gray area. You're either black or you're white on this stuff. And when it comes to the Browns, you're either up or you're down. There's no middle.
It's going to be an interesting week. We got a lot of time until Monday.
We do. Are we doing a show on Monday?
Yeah, we should probably talk about that, right? So the game's at what, 8:10, I think?
8:20, yeah.
8:20. Man, go back to post game.
Wow. I'll never get any sleep.
Right? maybe we go with a Tuesday show.
Yeah.
We
Let's
could.
do it.
We could. I've got another show. We'll have to talk off air on this.
Oh, that's right. All right, we'll talk off air. Let's get out of here.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks for sticking with us during our technical difficulties. We'll see you next week at some point.
Go Browns.
Go Browns. All right, we are out.